In life, we say this. Life is about reaching the highest potential. If you ask the coconut tree, how tall do you want to grow? Probably it would reply, as tall as I can. If you ask an athlete, how fast do you want to run? A sprinter, what would he say? What would be his answer? As fast as I can. If you ask a cricketer, the ace batsman, how much runs do you want to score in your lifetime? What answer would he give? As many runs as possible, right? If you ask Maradona, I'm not very familiar with football, so I know Pele, Maradona, those days. If you ask them, how many goals do you want to score in your lifetime? As many goals as possible. So human beings are delivered with this unique potential. Not only human beings, all living beings are delivered with this unique potential of continuously improving to make sure that we can achieve things as much as possible. If somebody asks me, how many books do you want to read in your lifetime? Guess what's the answer? Is this. Okay. And the book that I just completed is gifted by Arvind Eye Hospitals when I visited them. The Infinite Vision. I just completed this book recently. As many books as possible. If you want a simple definition of Kaizen, if I were to rewrite the Kaizen, I would write the definition like this. Today should be better than yesterday. Tomorrow should be better than today. Or at least today, it should not go back to yesterday. So we have to constantly improve to make sure that we achieve more as much as can. Ask the bamboo tree how tall it wants to go, as tall as it can. And we need to constantly change for the better. So let's start with this very fascinating word of what is Kaizen. Dr. Stephen Covey used to say this. Climbing the ladder of success so fast, and finally when you reach the top, you find that the ladder is leaning against the wrong wall. Climbing the ladder of corporate success so fast for so many years, and finally when you reach the peak, you find that the ladder is reaching against the wrong wall. Is that continuous improvement? That is entirely the difference between the effectiveness and efficiency. That's the entire difference between effectiveness and efficiency. Peter Drucker said, effectiveness is doing right things and efficiency is doing things right. So the biggest takeaway of Kaizen should be the change should be towards the strategic goals of the company. The word better should be understood properly. It might be better for you. It may not be better for the next process. What you improve in your process might actually hinder the other process. If change for better should be, you should ensure that it is aligned. Sometimes change for better for you might not be better for others. It is better not to change rather than to change. Just keep quiet, maintain the status quo, or even change for worse is sometimes continuous improvement. For example, if a process is producing at an efficiency of 100%, I'm telling them produce it at 80% efficiency. Is it change for better or change for worse? Sometimes you can ask somebody to slow down. Slowing down, sometimes it's better. You should see Kaizen in the spirit that the father of Kaizen, Masaki Mae, has written. It should be understood in the true spirit. What to improve is more important than how to improve. That's what I'll repeat. What to improve is more important than how to improve. That's what Dr. Eliyahu Goldratt told in his book, Goal. What to improve is more in his theory of constraints. What to improve is more important than how to improve. So, what to change for better is more important than how to change for better. This is what is the normal definition that you see. Change for good. But what is change for good should be crystallized to ensure that every change Any organization has two major constraints. All organizations. The first constraint is money. The second constraint is time. Do you have infinite time? All of us have a finite time. Now, these are the two constraints. We don't have infinite resources, particularly money. We have limited time. So it is important, if you want to use the resources and time, you need to focus. This is such an important word in your organization, focus. All your improvements should be focused improvements. All our effort should be directed towards that must be changed and not go behind numbers on how many number of Kaizens did we do today. They'll say, some people will give this number. Even, I'm sorry to say, even the so-called big institutes on Kaizen. I'm not mentioning any institute, by the way, okay? I disagree with them. Number of Kaizens, one Kaizen per person, per year or per month, something like that. That is wrong in my opinion. It is okay to drive a sort of interest in people, that's okay. People keep asking me this question. In my KRA, there is a target that I have that I must achieve one Kaizen per month. So what will they do? They will move the dustbin from one place to another, put one circle around the dustbin and say one Kaizen I have achieved. That's not change for better. So don't go behind numbers in Kaizen. But it's important that you should focus on what to improve and then think about how to improve. And how to improve is the easier part. What to improve is the challenging part. And that's why I say leadership is all about effectiveness, which is doing right things. And managerial is all about doing things right. What I mean by managerial is all about efficiency, leadership, effectiveness, doing right things. Managers, efficiency, doing things right. And when you circle the doing things right, what do I mean by things right? Whatever has been standardized should be done as per standards. That's what is my definition in my Kaizen book of doing things right. Let's step in. I'm asking you a question now. Some people call Kaizens as tools and techniques. A bunch of tools, spanners, screwdrivers, something like this. Some people say Kaizen is an approach, right? And some people say Kaizen is not tools and techniques. It's not an approach. It's some principles and practices. How many of you remember the TSM? Tool set, skill set, and mindset. Tool set, skill set, and mindset. Whenever you want to change for better, you need the right tool sets, because what to change, depending upon what to change, you need a right tool for that. And how to change is your skill set, the approach. And having an attitude to change is principles and practices. So tools and techniques. Let's dive into tools and techniques. So let's see the toolkits. And whatever that I'm going to share here on the screen is only indicative and not exhaustive. 5S is one tool that we know to change for the better. What are the other tools? Kanban, right? Some visual management tools. You can use various tools. We have Heijunka, which brings in flexibility, profitability, and scalability. Okayok, inventory control tools. Perfect. And-ons, value stream mapping is again finding monitoring tool. 8 ways do you do that? War on waste, SMED, and so on and so forth. So if you want to change for the better, you have to identify which tools to use. Is 8D an approach or is it a tool? That's also we can question. Okay. Inside 8D approach, we use a lot of tools. Okay, let's see the approach now. PDCA. How many of you know PDCA? Right? What else? DMAC approach. Define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. The lean approach of doing continuous improvements. doing a value stream mapping, identifying the Kaizen burst, and then implementing Kaizens. Theory of constraints approach. A3 problem solving.